Hi, this is Bobby with TukesHitting.com, and today we're doing My Swing Episode 7. We have Jack, who is a 12-year-old from Irvine, California, and we're going to be taking a look at his swing today. So, Jack, thank you for submitting your video. The reported hitter strengths and weaknesses. He hasn't played in a few months, has been struggling with some timing, and has some stride timing problems, it sounds like, where he's getting his foot down too early and not really getting the rhythm that he wants. So there's some things that I'm seeing with weight shift. There's some things I'm seeing with bat angle that I want to kind of address, and the weak pop-ups, weak grounders and pop-ups to the left side, the warm burners down left field line. Pretty much what I'm seeing with that, with that cause. So let's take a look. There's two swings on the clip, and first thing I want to say is he seems like he's got some good actions and some good intent. For a 12-year-old, I feel like he's getting through the ball pretty well, and has a general, like, intent-wise, he's driving the ball. He's trying to drive the ball, which is great. We've been talking a lot about this back move with a lot of the my swings, and I'm not going out of my way to repeat myself. It's just a very common problem, and something that I think a lot of kids do to get back and to feel like they're getting back, and a lot of them are coached to get back. So as we move back, we see this stacked up back leg, and head is still staying a little bit in front, which is better, but we don't want to be stacked up over this backside. I explained it to somebody recently as the ground reaction force when you get stacked up over this back leg is vertical. So he's pressing into the ground straight up and down. So ground reaction force is you're pushing into the ground is pushing back up on you. So right now we've got this very vertical orientation with this back leg. So you got to get off that backside. I'm kind of moving that mouse to try to show that. You got to get off that backside, get off of that vertical stack to be able to create good direction and good resistance moving forward. And we see that consistently with the pro hitters, and we see this kind of stack consistently with the younger kids and kids that are loading ineffectively. So this is something I want you to work on, and a really good thing to do. I love doing the drill where I just put the mouse, you need to take a bat. I use like a golf alignment stick or a driveway marker, pick up at Home Depot for a couple bucks. You just put it right next to the head and don't let the head go back, and see what you can feel with that. So there's going to be some hitters who have a negative move and get some rhythm going back, but usually they're not getting too stacked up over that backside. Now, in terms of bat angle, what I'm seeing with the weak pop-ups is you're losing some angle and kind of borderline casting the bat. It's not as bad as it could be, but you're kind of losing some angle into the swing. So if you've got this angle right here and you're going to go all the way to contact, you're more than 180 degrees into contact, which is fine. Some hitters are more, some hitters are less. But what I don't like to see is that the bat's kind of leaking backwards before you're starting to get open. And then when you do get open, it just kind of, it continues. And I actually like some of the angles you're getting to. I think you do a good job not just straight up pushing the bat. You're getting that lead arm to work pretty well and getting the back arm underneath. Not as much as it could, again, but that's because you're kind of like leaking out of it. So we need to get to the root cause of it. As we go, let's let this play a little bit. It looks like you're aware of this angle, and you're doing some things to address it, where you got this little hand slide back, and that's not the worst move, but it needs to be done at the right time. So when you're doing your little rehearsals, notice your head's not moving when you're doing this. So you're just kind of sliding your hands back, and then everything's staying put. When it's time to hit, the first move you do is everything slides back. This big move back. So if put the mouse on your nose, everything slides back, then your hands are going back. So now again, your knee went out a little bit more on that one. That's something it kind of looks like your back foot is turned out. That's going to be a comfort and personal style thing. You can have the foot out, you can have the foot in. That's, you need to figure out if that works for you. But that knee does turn out a little bit, so you don't get as stacked. The weight really goes back, but you get the knee out, so it's not as vertically stacked by look. But again, your hands are going back while you've got this more stacked up weight back setup. So I got a couple hitters that we're going to look at. This is a clip of David Wright from the World Baseball Classic. This swing is a grand slam he hit against Team Italy. But I want to just kind of look at his overall like loading pattern. So I brought him up because of the comment that was made about in the self-reporting about how you were getting the front foot down early. It's a striding pattern. You can do it. So David Wright gets his foot down crazy early, but he doesn't get there and stop and get into a static position. So he gets his foot down, but his head didn't slide back. You can see he's got some angle to this back leg where you're very, and this one's better than the other one. Sorry. You're pretty stacked up, and he's got that hip inside the foot back here. So he's got the bat tipping in his forward move. You've got the bat tipping, or you've got like some angle getting created as you're going back. So then it gets released later, where he's got angle coming forward as he's going forward. So watch the bat kind of tip up. Everything about him is going forward right there. And look at the angle he's getting to. Look at that angle. Bat angle still there, where you've been kind of releasing that out a little bit. And the spacing is all kind of, your arms kind of away from your body. And then from there, gets the hips to lead. I feel like he could get his back elbow down a little bit more than he does, and he can be steep at times because of that. This pitch is down to the zone, so it works to keep that bat angle where it is. And then he goes down and gets it, and he does a little David Wright skip right in the corner of the screen there. But I want you to experiment with this angle, this bat kind of working back over the head when you're going forward, and don't get these arms so far back. I like to see the hands kind of over the foot, and your hands are getting kind of, mouse slid right there, I didn't mean to do that, kind of getting out away from you a little bit. A couple other hitters I want to look at. This is a Derek Jeter clip, and I wanted to use this one because he doesn't maintain his angle great. And Derek Jeter's a great hitter. I don't want to say anything to make anybody believe I don't think he's a great hitter, but he kind of loses some angle as his body's opening up. So his back kind of does cast out a little bit, and that's just going to decrease kind of how much the bat can release into the ball and some power. I joked around with a kid the other day that the shortest swing you can do is a bunt. So if the bat starts in the hitting at the point of contact, that's your bunt. That's the shortest swing you can do. And then imagine taking the bat back like 6 inches or a foot, and then swinging only 6 inches or a foot towards the ball. That's a very, very short swing, but it's not effective. And you can't drive the ball. You can't put any power into the ball because there's no velocity. There's no angle going into the ball. So you need to have some resistance created, and between like the hips opening and the bat working back. But we don't want to see that release of the bat. So while Jeter gets a little bit of kind of angle release, he does a good job getting that left arm up, and he kind of pokes his front arm up a little bit. Let me play this again. So you can see his spacing is different, where his is more about creating an angle, and yours is kind of releasing an angle. So that's something I want you to pay attention to as well. And you can just mess around with getting the lead arm up more, or get the back elbow down more. You can see he's got a little bit more turn. This is, I would say, a similar point in the swing. You've got a little bit of dropping going on there. So where when your foot's coming down, everything is kind of sliding down. When Jeter's foot's coming down, you can see this left arm kind of stays up better. The back arm comes down more, so you get these angles are a little spaced better. So it's not just kind of kicking out and kind of kicking into the swing arc, or releasing or bleeding into the swing arc. He's just creating an angle. So that's another thing. So you can, I don't know how you're going to respond. Every hitter's different. So I'm giving you a couple things to try. So the bat angle, over the head, not getting stacked up, and then focus on the arms. I don't know what your angles are going to end up being, but I think they can be better. This was from Sunday Swings yesterday. If you don't know about Sunday Swings, it's every Sunday I try to recruit a whole bunch of people to post as much video as possible on Twitter. We call it Sunday Swings, so you can click on the hashtag and pull up. It's hundreds of videos now at this point. But I got Chase Utley. This was a very popular one yesterday, and I'm going to flip him over, so don't mind. Chase Utley as a righty. But wanted you to see some spacing on him as well. So again, look at his positioning, and in terms of the hand movement. So I hope you can see why I wanted to show this clip, where he's got that kind of rock back with the hands that you were doing, rehearsing back here. This kind of move right here, that you're doing that little hand back load type movement. But then when you did it, your whole body shifted back. So with Utley, you can see that he's going forward while that's happening. So head forward, and if I pull him down and pull him up, see the angles with the body. I'll slide him over right now. See the angles that they're creating with the body, where the head is way forward of the back foot, way forward of the back foot. Get the knee inside the foot, hip inside the knee, all that kind of stuff. So the spacing is just very different, and I think that's going to help you maintain the angle better, because you're not going to load the hands on the way back and then cast the bat as you go forward. So that's what I have for you. I think you're doing a lot of good things, Jack, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you progress. But we need to kind of minimize this big back move. If you want to do that kind of hand trigger that Utley's doing, minimize how much you go back. You can see that Utley's just picking up his foot and going forward. And the more you do that, I think it's going to tighten up your whole process. That ground reaction force I was talking about, this is the angle that he has to work with, and you're very vertical with your angle. So, Jack, that's what I want you to work on. If you have questions, please reach out and contact me. So that's it for this episode of My Swing. If you'd like to be eligible to be selected for a My Swing video, you can submit. The links will be posted either on YouTube or on the blog post page for this. And Jack, I hope this is helpful, and thanks for watching. Thank you. Take care.